I'd like to introduce our Vice President and Chief Diversity Officer, and this is Meshea Poore. And Meshea has frequently given some warm welcome and some very meaningful remarks at our Peace Tree ceremony and our other events. And we're very happy to have her support and partnership within the institution. So for right now, I'm going to turn it over to our Vice President, Meshea Poore, and she will provide some commentary on some of the things that she's heard today. As you can imagine, in these times, the DEI offices are, what shall I say? There's never enough hours in the day, I guess, is how I would put it. Never enough hours in the day to deal with all the important matters that come across her desk. So please welcome Vice President Meshea Poore. She'll do some commentary, and then we will celebrate everyone with some gift giving.
Well, good afternoon. I know it has been a long day. But I also will say that I think that there should be energy in this space. When I've been blessed in the last couple of weeks to just be around history. And I think oftentimes we come to events like this and it's just an educational moment for a minute. We take notes or we had a good aha moment and we kind of just push it aside. That was good for me to know, noted. But I have been blessed to be in spaces. Sometimes you have to make sure that you're present. And for many years, we have heard about the history of our ancestors, and that's what I see here. The land in which we sit, the land in which we walk, the places in which we drive, we don't own. To have your identity stripped and it told who you are with names, where someone said earlier that we don't have a word for wild. Isn't it interesting when people want to define a thing, they give it a name that we don't even relate to? So it's important to know our history. It's important to know our history because this is our history. When we begin to divide our history, we begin to divide ourselves. You know, we talked about it. Someone said, we're still here, we're strong, and we're fighting. Someone else talked about the importance of making sure that we understand the work is not done. We still have more to do. We talked about, I heard someone mention about alcoholism and some of the abuse that is happening on our lands, but it also is attached to the trauma that has happened to our people. And no one's really discussing the trauma. We understand it. It's not just these waywardly people who don't understand. It is the trauma. The story that was told, or the actual action of someone being told about the border schools, the boarding schools, and what that means and what that pulls up in someone's spirit of the history of that. When you still have to learn and know how to find peace in the middle of chaos. When we talk about our students and our young people, where they don't want to be quiet and still. They're frustrated because they've seen what generations have gone through before them. But they're trying to find that peace. We were talking about finding your ceremony. I thought that was beautiful. Finding your ceremony, finding a place to celebrate. Celebrating who we are, celebrating life. The other thing that I thought that touched me was tie the earth in a bundle and give thanks. Oftentimes we feel like we're just here. We're taking in the air. We have the sun above us. I've been paying attention to the decorations on the table from the earth in which our beauty comes. Everything is connected, but we sometimes think that we're so disconnected. We as people are disconnected. Talked about that life is a circle. It's not a bottom line. You know, we often try to find, well, when is it going to be done? When can we button this up? You're not going to button up the work that's being done here, the stuff that's being taught to you. How do you put yourself into this space to do the work? To be made invisible. I think it's important to say made invisible because we've always been here. But to be made invisible and having to make yourself be seen, to have your land stolen and having to still figure out how to get back on to your land. I don't know if you know what it means to go away from home. I don't know how many people were born in West Virginia. I am from Charleston, born and bred. In the great hills of Appalachia. I always say I'm an African-American woman from Appalachia. But I also recognize and understand that even in my stead, I'm not always seen. And so when you go away from home, it's nothing like coming home. Have you ever experienced that? Even y'all getting home, you can't wait till the day is over, kick off your shoes, relax your feet. That's actually a song. And just be home, to be at peace. But then not to know what your home actually is. To figure out ways to find peace while you're still fighting means something. And so you've heard throughout the week, throughout the couple of days, of the work that is still yet to be done. These are not just things that are being told to you. It is actually a call of action. Bonnie does this not just for the day, for Peace Day, when we do our peace tree ceremony. She does this throughout the whole entire year. She puts on programs. The library has exhibits, and this art museum has had exhibits. We talk about this continuously. And so my call of action to you is, what's next for you? What will you do from what you've heard today to ensure support is provided? How will you continue to educate yourself on how you play a role to be a part of putting the earth in a bundle? Someone said earlier also that we're all family. We're all blood. I find that love is like faith. When you love a thing, you care for a thing. If you love people, you should care for them. You should figure out how to help. You should hear when they talk about their pain. But you also hear in the conversation of truth, celebration, peace. Peace for earth, peace for people, peace for animals. Love for the things I just spoke of, and the commitment to continue to fight. And so I would ask, and I'll leave with this. I ask you to continue to be aware. Continue to be aware. Continue to educate yourself with the truth. And if you don't know it's the truth, you were told there's a national directory of plenty of people on this panel and beyond that would be happy to help you in your awareness. More is to be done, and it only can be done if we're willing to do it with everyone in this space. If there's something you've learned today, I'd ask you to go home and share it with your family, because that's also where it begins. What will your charge be? What I know about mountaineers is that we say we go first. Let's do it. What I know about mountaineers is that we say that we respect, that's a value. We believe in service, accountability, curiosity, and appreciation. Because I know that's what a mountaineer is. It is my hope and expectation that you will find ways to celebrate the history that's been shared here, but also dive deeper to understand how you can help with the healing of what's been shared here. And at the end of the day, when we all join together as family, we can proudly say, let's go. Thank you.